So this is a repair on a Motorola Nexus 6 device. As you can tell, big crack across the front of the digitizer. I went ahead and powered the device off, so make sure you do that first. Then turn this around and go ahead and heat up the back side. I know a lot of people will probably ask if a hairdryer will do the trick. To be honest with you, there's so much adhesive back here, I doubt it. And I know at least with a heat gun, you're going to get it hot enough that the adhesive will actually help to come off of the back side here of this phone, and that's what you're going to need. You're going to need something very hot to make this happen. And then take your pry tool. Of course, I like using an iSesamo tool here. And you'll want to slide it in between the frame and the back case here. Now once you've got that inserted, what you'll do is kind of pry up a little bit to get the casing off the adhesive that's holding it down, and just start using your tool and sliding it down the edge and go around the phone that way. This is the most frustrating and tedious part of this repair, is getting this back housing unit off the back case. But when you start prying and the adhesive will come off slowly, you will notice that this plastic piece will try and come out with that back unit. Try and pry that separately if you can. That goes to the wireless charging in the very back of this phone, and you don't want to do any damage to that. There's another cable over here on this side of the phone that I'm getting ready to show you that you'll want to be very careful here. Do not damage this cable. You'll want to slide your tool up over that. Make sure that everything else that has the adhesive here, you can pry it up, and hopefully you do not get that cable. And with that, success. These are T3 screws, and I believe there are about 22 of them you'll have to undo. So you're going to have a lot of fun doing this process. And now you have these rubber little protector doohickeys that I don't know what they're called. Anyway, they put them over the ribbon cables here, one for the battery up top and then for the LCD down here. You'll want to pry them up, and so that you can disconnect the ribbon cables underneath of them. Let's move our attention to the top of the phone, where we can remove the SIM card. Be very careful with this ribbon here as you pry it back. And now you can start prying the frame from the LCD screen here. You can just use your fingernail, or you can use whatever tool you want. It should just snap off. Now what we have are two pieces of orange tape. We're just going to go ahead and slide those off so that we can get to our connectors. Just put these off to the side so that we can reuse them when we connect everything back up with a new assembly. We will now go ahead and disengage both of these little connectors. This one's real simple to do. For this other one on the left side, I'm going to use a guitar pick. You can use something flat that's a little bit longer there, so you don't do any damage, and so that way you can get the entire piece up at the same time there. We'll go ahead and loosen the connectors from the logic board now, and just flip them back out of the way. Then we'll take an X-Acto knife and slide up under the part here. This will come off as well, and then we can, oh, and there's one more screw up here. We'll need to disengage that. And now we're ready to lift up the logic board. Just be careful of the ribbon cables that are here in your way. You should be able to maneuver the logic board in such a way to get it off the frame. Shouldn't have too much problems here. And here is our replacement digitizer and frame. As you can tell, everything is identical. And so now what we'll do is take the logic board and put it up and under the ribbon cables. We'll want to snap it down into place. We don't have to worry about snapping the ribbon cables back just yet. Our main focus right here is just getting the logic board back where it goes. We have a tiny screw that goes in up here, if you remember. And now everything's lined up. We can go ahead and put the ribbon cables back in. There is a little piece of adhesive on the back of this cable. Line these up straight and don't forget to snap them back in place. Now I'm just going to take the orange pieces of tape and put them back the way that they were. So now let's take the back of the phone here and the frame and snap it back together to the front screen. Should be able to snap in place relatively easy. And now you can go ahead and tighten your screws back in all the way around the entire back here of the phone. And now we'll take our micro SIM card slot and we will put the tray back in. We'll go ahead and connect this cable here, snap it into place, and then line this up and snap this in. We'll take our little rubber gaskets here and put them back over top of the connection on both this top left side and the bottom right side. Let's go ahead and take the back cover, which should still have a ton of adhesive on it, and you can just snap it back into place. Shouldn't be too hard to do. Like I said, there's so much adhesive on this, mine just literally went right back where it needed to go, so hopefully yours does the same thing. So here's the little plastic cover. We can take that off if you wish. I like leaving mine on there until I give it back to its rightful owner. That way I don't have my fingerprints all over their new screen. But that's all there is to it. Hopefully this video helped you, and if it did, please give me a thumbs up, like it, subscribe, and hopefully it all works out for you just as well as it did me. Thanks for watching.